You keep telling the lie that you've been telling. Say it out loud. I need to hear it.
We understand. It never happened.
What is up, Better Call Saul fans? My name is Merge, and Better Call Saul is back for its final 6 episodes. And as of recording, there are only 5 episodes left. And I just feel like where we are in the timeline, I think the series can transition from the Better Call Saul timeline to the post-Breaking Bad Gene timeline to finish out the remaining 3 episodes. And with the teasers we've been getting for part 2 of season 6, it further supports the idea. And just from a story point of view, it would make sense to end the series with Gene in Omaha instead of with Saul in Albuquerque. Let me explain. And before we get started, if you can leave a like on this video and even consider subscribing to stay up to date with the latest content, I'd surely appreciate it. So season 6 of Better Call Saul, I would say, would have to have the highest body count of main characters in the entire series, with Nacho, Howard, and Lalo all being killed off relatively early in the season. And granted, being that this is a prequel series, we know that some characters just wouldn't make it out alive because we don't see them in the sequel series of Breaking Bad. And after watching season 6 episode 8 titled Point and Shoot, we see that Lalo gets killed by Gus, and Howard's death is framed as a suicide, as predicted by the way, and both of their bodies have been and will be buried underneath the meth super lab, and potentially may have been discovered in Breaking Bad by Hank and Steve Gomez when Walt and Jesse burned it down.
Where were the 2 bodies? No idea who they were?
No, not much left.
But during this episode, it essentially ties up all but one loose end, and that's Kim, who we do see at the end of the episode may have some lasting effects from that night, and she may not be able to recover and brush it off as quick as Jimmy might. And with the teaser of Kim's voiceover of what sounds like a court testimony with the candles flickering, I feel like it gives off a hint of what Kim might be facing in the coming episodes. And I mean, one can assume that Kim is racked with guilt over what happened to Howard and may not be able to move forward, and she might even be feeling alone in this situation. Because imagine living in a world where even your own partner isn't even phased for being responsible for killing someone you both knew and worked for. You probably wouldn't even feel safe or exactly wouldn't know who to trust. And without getting too far into wild speculation territory, because you guys know my mind can just keep wandering like that, we all know that Kim will either be disappeared or killed by the end of the series. Killed by who? It's really tough to say at this point, but I feel like as a fan base, we're all comfortable with that idea. And I think that would be something that would play out in the next 2 episodes titled Fun and Games, which might just be a court episode dealing with Howard, and then we have Nippy, which honestly might just feel like a finale to the Better Call Saul timeline, and probably paying off in the finale with either the 2 reuniting in the Gene timeline or maybe him visiting her gravesite. But moving on to episodes 11 through 13, which haven't even been named yet, I have an idea that they would just be full-on Gene episodes, giving us more than a 10-minute look into Gene's life and really just establishing Jeff as the final boss. Because recently there was a Breaking Bad marathon on AMC and I watched it, and the 2 teasers that I've seen the most was the Say It taxi trailer and then the Bluetooth Don't trailer. But with Jeff, I'm sure we're going to get more of a backstory other than him being a guy who watched Saul's commercials and lived in Albuquerque with his ex-girlfriend.
When I lived in Albuquerque with my ex, I used to see you everywhere.
And again, all the teasers really hint at Gene becoming Saul again, from the season 6 poster alone when he's putting on a blazer over his Cinnabon uniform, and then the teaser with all the outfits that he wore throughout the series, and you see the one outfit that just been taken off the hanger, but it could be that same red blazer that we see in the poster. And with Gene wanting to deal with the Jeff issue himself, I would think that's where the show's conclusion would focus on, especially being that there's not that much for characters like Gus or Mike to do other than wait for the events of Breaking Bad to happen. But that's just me. Maybe I'm looking too much into this, or maybe, just maybe, I just might know what I'm talking about. Either way, comment below, let me know on your thoughts on the Gene timeline, and I'll do my best to respond. Until then, my name is Gerald, but you can call me Merge. Later.